Good morning. Welcome to our Rising with the Sun yoga session. Today we're going to do a quick flow that's mostly focusing on warming up the body and stretching out the legs and hips. We'll begin by just sitting in a comfortable position on our mat and doing some neck rolls, opening up the body with some gentle movements. And breathe in as your neck rolls backwards, and breathe out as it comes forwards. You can begin with some small circles and gently widen them into larger circles. And then reverse direction. Now we'll bring our shoulders up to our ears. Pull your shoulder blades back and then down your back. And then forwards, up, back, and down. And we'll do this a few more times. Breathing in as we pull our shoulders up and out as we push them down our back. Feeling all the little fibers in our shoulders start to loosen up after getting out of bed this morning. And then reverse the direction. So now we pull our shoulders back, up, forward, and down. Back, up, forward, and down. Breathing in as you pull your shoulders back and up, and out as you go forwards and down. And now after a few rounds of that, we'll do some gentle twisting. Start by twisting from your torso in your low back first. You want to just move to a comfortable range of motion to your left and reach back behind you and begin a gentle twist. Nothing deep right now, just a gentle warming up of the body. I like to grab my knee with my right hand and do a little bit of shaking motion. It really helps to just wake the body up. And then to the other side. Come back to your center, and then do a forward fold, staying in a seated position, preferably easy pose, cross-legged. And we're just gently folding forwards. Nothing too extreme. We're not trying to really stretch ourselves right now. This is just the warm-up, so just sit in the position for a few seconds and let your body relax into it. It doesn't have to be at your end of range of motion. And then while you're folding forward, sway back side to side, opening up that side body and the back body. You might feel it through your hips, your glutes, activation coming down your back and around your hip area. And then come up and return to center. Rotate onto your mat if you're not already. Come into this nice, lovely L shape. Wiggle your toes a little bit, wake up your legs, pedal out your feet, rotate your ankles, and then reverse the rotation. And while we're at that, we can rotate our wrists so that we're getting this whole body engagement, waking up all of our limbs. Wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingertips. Extend your awareness into the edges of your body. Now, come to center again. Raise your arms up into the air and begin with a forward bend. We're bending here from the low back, where we're trying not to arch our shoulders too much, but instead move from our low back and fold forwards. And if we don't have the range in our low back, we're not going to try to fold forward any more than that. Again, right now we're just waking up the limbs, waking up the body. Take a few deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. And then we'll pull our legs back into butterfly position and begin with just some light, very light and slow flapping of our legs in butterfly. Staying very aware of each movement. And then we can start to speed it up a little bit for some faster flapping, more mobility in the hips. Feeling maybe a nice stretch through the inside of the thigh. We'll do this for another 10 seconds or so. Feel free to speed up the flapping a little bit if you're comfortable with it. And from here, we'll kind of roll our way forwards and come up to a standing position. And as the sun begins to rise, it's a great time to do our sun salutations. Stepping to the top of your mat, open up the body as the sun rises. Take a deep breath in and out. Center yourself in Tadasana. Your toes slightly together, the heels slightly apart, your arms down to your side with a little bit of gap in between your shoulders and your armpits so that you're standing in a very ready position. straight and erect and relaxed. Relaxed yet engaged. Now with the breath in, raise your hands to palms, connecting over the heart, namaskar. Breathe out, hands come down, breathe up, hands rise up into a gentle back bend. And exhale into a forward fold. Inhale, bring your right leg back. Drop your knee down to the floor. Flatten your foot. Chin up towards the sky. And take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, pick up your right knee. Lift your left leg back. And push back into downward dog. And after a deep inhale and exhale here, maybe wake up the body a little bit with some pedaling of your feet in your first downward dog of the day. And then drop your knees, chest, and chin. And take a breath here. Pause for a moment. Then exhale. Push your legs back. Lift your chin up into a cobra. There should be no pressure in your wrists here. You should be able to keep your wrists off the floor as you engage your entire back to lift up your head and arch your back. And then exhale. Push up, back into downward dog. And inhale. Step forward with your left foot. Drop your right knee. Chin up, shoulders back. And exhale. Pick your right knee up. Step forward to the top of your mat and forward fold. And inhale. Come up into a slight back bend. Exhale, hands into namaskar. And you can drop your hands all the way through. And then inhale again. Hands come into namaskar. Then reach up into a slight back bend. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, step the left leg back this time. Drop the left knee. Lift your chin up to the sky. Drop your shoulders. And exhale into downward dog. Take another breath here in and out. And drop your knees, your chest, and your chin. Then inhale into cobra. Exhale back into downward dog. Take a breath in and exhale. Right foot forward, left knee down. And inhale, lift your chin up, shoulders down. And on an exhale, lift your left knee up, step to the top of your mat, forward fold. And then inhale, stand up into a slight back bend. Exhale, hands to center, namaskar. And from here, now that our one round of sun salutation is finished, we can practice as many sun salutations as you like to with the rising sun, but today we'll do just one. Make a quicker routine. From here, take your left leg, step back into a high lunge, and lift up your arms into our warrior one position. Hold this pose and sink a little deeper. With every breath, try to sink a little bit deeper and really open up your left side body and feel it through your hip here. You get this nice elongation all the way from your left toes coming up your left body and into your left arm. And as you lean your body back a little bit more, you'll feel that activation through that whole channel. And then on an exhale, we'll rotate and open up to that left side for our warrior two. And continue to keep those legs engaged and active, very strong footing and foundation. You're rooting through the pads of your feet, not really cramping your toes or activating them, but see if you can even lift your toes up and be comfortable and draw in your energy from your center so that this is a very stable position. And send your gaze extended past your right fingertips. And then straighten your right leg. Lift your left arm up to the sky. Reach your right hand down the length of your right leg into our Trikonasana triangle pose. Really try to stretch your left fingertips up and make sure your right fingers are touching the ground if they can. If not, reach as far as you can, whether that's down to your ankle, your knee, but just reach down into this triangle position, keeping your legs straight and your legs straight. Try to twist your body open, reaching up. And then exhale and bring this back down. We'll come into a high lunge into our downward dog. And walk out our legs a little bit. Stretch those calf muscles, those thighs, the hamstrings. Oh, get some nice cracks out of our feet as we continue to pedal out. And now lift up your left knee, bring your left foot forward, and roll up into our warrior one position. Now we're feeling the engagement on our right side, especially in our right frontal hip. As we lean back further, we feel the engagement activate stronger. We can even look up to the sky as we arch our back. And after we've taken a few breaths here, now we're rotating the other way. with our left hand forward, our right hand behind, and we're sending our gaze out over those left fingertips. We can even do a little bit of a pull to the front and a pull to the back so that we can find our center where we feel most stable, sitting in between our hips. And try to sink a little bit lower if you can, and really ground in through your feet. Keep the pads of your feet active. You can wiggle around your feet a little bit, just again to bring awareness to them and to kind of wake up and find out where that grounded connection is. It's not in your toes. You can lift your toes up and be entirely stable. And if you can't lift your toes up and be stable, give it a try. See what happens when you lift your toes up. And if you start to like wobble over, it's okay. Just know that you can continue to practice movements with your toes lifted and gain the stability in your foot through the pads. Now we'll rotate by bringing our right arm up and our left arm down, straightening our left leg as we do so into our Trikonasana. And then rotating forwards, rotating to our right, opening up our chest, pulling our shoulders back, and reaching up with our right hand as high as we can. And from here, on an exhale, we bring our hands down into our low lunge, bring our left foot back into our downward dog, continue to pedal out a little bit, and then we'll bring our right foot forward. We'll bring it outside of our hands on our mat, right to the edge of our mat, our right foot here. And then we'll drop our left knee down, coming into a lizard. If this is comfortable for you, you can stay here. And if you have the mobility through your hips, and you can bring your arms down to rest on the floor. Sometimes you'll have to move your right foot out a little bit further to do this, and try to bring your elbows down. And then just rest in this position. Keep engagement through the ends of your feet. You can even push down on your left foot here and send your left knee back a little bit further, which will deepen the stretch through your legs and your hips. And then push up from here. Bring your leg over into a pigeon, and then continue again to fold forward. This should be a little bit easier than the lizard pose, but we're activating the outside of our leg on the stretch here instead of the inside. And again, we can actually press into our left leg to make the stretch a little bit deeper and keep our right leg active. Keep the energy flowing into the tips of our toes. And from here, press up, lift your right leg up to the sky, and then you can drop down into a downward dog. And now we'll repeat with the other side. Pick up our left leg, bring it to the top of the mat on the outside edge, drop our right knee, open up our leg a little bit if we need to, either stay here if it's comfortable or continue to drop down into our lizard stretch, keeping our toes active, pressing down maybe into the top of our right foot this time, wiggling our toes on the left foot, making sure that we're staying aware of the connections through our body. We're not focusing on just a single area to open up, but the stretch really occurs from one toe to the other toe, from your toe all the way to the crown of your head, up through your shoulders even. It's a whole body engagement. And from here, we'll do the same thing. Press up, lifting your right leg, bringing your left heel across into our pigeon, and then folding forward again. Breathing deeply through our nose. If anything feels tense and painful, we can always bring our breath to that area and really direct our breath into, say, maybe our glutes over here. And you'll find that when you send your breath into an area, that area will start to loosen up more quickly. The tension will be released, and you'll be able to go deeper into the stretch if you can stay centered on your breath and breathe into that sometimes little bit of painful sensation. Not that you should stretch too hard or overstretch, but it's good to encounter the resistance and breathe through it. Now from here, we'll push up again, bring our left leg up, and then down into downward dog. And then we'll drop our knees down into our tabletop position. We'll do a little bit of cat-cow. On your inhale, lift your head and chin up, and let your belly drop, but expand it full of air on the inhale. And exhale, push our back into an arch, drop our chin and our head forward, and squeeze out all the air from our bellies. Inhale, drop your belly, raise the chin. Exhale, drop the chin, raise the belly. Inhale, our cow position. Exhale for the cat position. Inhale. Exhale. And from here, we're going to bring our knees forwards and sit into a hero's pose. We'll get some cracks maybe from our ankles. We'll sit here, placing pressure on our ankles to stretch out some of the feet. Just take a few breaths for centering. Feel free to close your eyes and feel into your body. And after a moment of centering, come to stand on your knees. Move your knees a little bit wider to about hip distance apart, and we'll come into a camel. If you can't attempt this, there's a few ways where you can just stay sitting on your knees and bend a little bit backwards, but we're going to go ahead and reach back to find our heels and lean our hands back onto our heels and bring our chest and belly forwards. Drop the head back and breathe in into the upper chest, heart expansion and opening. Take a few deep breaths here, in and out. And then bring yourself back to a neutral position, sitting on your knees. Come down, stretch in child's pose, Balasana. From Balasana, we'll roll forward into a little bit of a puppy pose. We can bring our arms forwards and push our chest down. Let our heart melt. Wiggle the toes, rotate the ankles, stretch out your feet a little bit if they've been compressed in the hero's pose and child's pose and the camel pose. And then come back to sit on your mat in an L sit. And from here, we'll pick up our right leg, kind of cradle it a little bit. We can grab our right foot with our left arm, our left hand, our left elbow, and then our right hand on our right knee, and just rock a little bit back and forth. Maybe make circles with our knee. Try to release the muscle engagement throughout the leg so that it's just relaxed. Maybe rotate our right ankle a little bit. Just kind of stretch it out, wake it up. Then extend our right leg while holding onto the toes, and then drop it back down. Now, notice how your left leg and your right leg feel after that. You may have released some tension. I feel I have in the back of my leg. So now we'll do the same thing with the left leg. Pick it up in your preferred cradling position, and then just rock it back and forth. Maybe make little circles with your knee. And then grab your left toes with your left hand and extend. Press your heel out. Give a nice little stretch here. And drop the leg down. Bounce your knees a little bit. Come back into a butterfly position. And this time we'll do a little bit more activity stretch with this butterfly. So start gentle and slow. But since we're warmed up now, feel free to increase the pace and increase the range of your flapping wings. And compare how this feels to the beginning of the practice. Do you notice a difference in your hips and how they feel while you're doing the butterfly? Do your legs feel looser and lighter? And then come to a gentle stop when you'd like to. Maybe give your inner arches of your feet a nice little massage with your thumbs, just pressing in there and squeezing your feet all around. It's pretty nice to give yourself a little foot massage. Grab your toes, stretch them out. And then come into our lying down position. We're going to lift up our knees, bring the knees forwards, give yourself a big hug, roll up in a ball, stare at the birds in the tree. And now put your left leg out and just squeeze your right leg in. Rotate your ankles again. Feel engagement throughout your legs. Don't just let go. Not yet. And then switch. Extend your right leg. Pull your left leg, your knee to your chest. You can focus on your left knee to your chest and your right knee down to the mat, down to the ground. Now extend both legs. Take your right knee and open it up into a half butterfly type position, and try to bring your right knee down to the mat, and you'll feel this stretch across your inner thigh up into your hip. You can use your left hand on your hip and your right hand on your knee to help
pull it down towards the ground. If there's too much sensation here, don't continue to pull. If it's uncomfortable or painful, just try to keep it a little bit of an engagement here where you feel a nice stretch. But don't overstretch on your hip. Always take it slow. Now bring your right knee up, right leg down, left knee opens up. For the same thing on the other side. Now bring your left knee up and extend your leg out. Lie back and get comfortable. Put your arms out to your side. Spread your legs to about mat distance apart. Bring your shoulders flat onto the mat. Down. Close your eyes gently. Now take a really, really deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. On this next breath in, engage your whole body. Just bring a little bit of tension throughout your entire body and hold it for the breath on the inhale. And then release on the exhale and let all of that engagement go. Completely relax and melt into the ground. Let all the tension fade. Come to stillness with yourself in these moments. And if you're practicing at sunrise with me, let yourself have this moment of stillness without thoughts or worry. To prepare yourself for the day ahead. Listen to the sounds around you, whether it be birds, maybe traffic noises, maybe a dog, maybe conversations from the other room, or maybe you have the pristine silence of the morning. But just listen to the world around you. without opening your eyes. Slowly turn to one side. And wrap up in a little fetal position as you prepare to come to a seated position, keeping your eyes closed. Now slowly press up into a seated position without any strain, keeping your eyes closed. Take a deep breath in and out. Bring your hands together in front of heart center. As your hands connect, feel the energy of yourself between them. Rub your hands together, generate some heat. Place your warm hand, palms of your hand, over your eyes. And then pull your hands gently away from your face and keep your hands in front of your face as you slowly blink open your eyes, looking at your own hands. And when you're ready, bring them down. Thank you for joining me for our practice today, and I hope you have a wonderful day ahead. Namaste.